it's very nice that you felt safe in Brazil. It's very nice that they were protecting you. Do they have a history of monitoring their people the same way the United States does?
Well, so, as I referenced earlier, the history of Brazil, the recent political history, is a really dark one, but relevant to the U.S. In the 1950s, early 1960s, they were building the first really vibrant democracy in Latin America, and they were steadfastly attempting to remain neutral in the endless Soviet Union-U.S. Cold War. But in 1963, 1964, they had this kind of center-left president that the U.S. thought was becoming a little too close to Moscow, a little bit too socialist. He, nothing communist, but just very kind of mild reforms like rent control and land reform and some nationalization of companies to try and assuage the really brutal income inequality that has plagued the country forever. And so the U.S. government, first under John Kennedy and then under Lyndon Johnson, worked with right-wing Brazilian generals to overthrow that democratically elected government violently. And they imposed a military dictatorship for the next 21 years, of which the current Brazilian president, Jair Bolsonaro, was a part as an army captain. And those are really dark days. Dissidents were murdered, journalists were killed and exiled. Everybody was spied upon with the help of the CIA and MI5 and MI6 in the UK. And so a lot of that kind of endures that relationship between the CIA and the Brazilian government. But since 1985, when it democratized, it's kind of it's become once again a model of a liberal democracy. So no, no government in the world is obsessed with spying on the world like the US is. But yeah, there's a pretty dark underbelly, like there is in any major country in Brazil, of kind of like a deep state or an intelligence community, whatever you want to call it, that definitely uses the dark arts to maintain control over the population.